All right, everyone, we're joined here by Charisma Osbone and Jaelynn Penn. If you have any questions for either student athlete, please hit the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen and we'll get started. We'll start with Mike Regalado from Bruin Report.
You both just, the entire team just had two tough games on the road. First off, what is that like to have to battle through that adversity, especially with some pretty excited crowds, but to pull off the win and now go into the semifinals of the WNIT?
Honestly, it's so fun. Like, it's been so fun playing with this group. And just like the crowds that are here, like, it's been so fun, like not having the crowd on our side and just having to rally together and just feed off of each other's energy. I've just been enjoying the process, and I know we've been having a lot of fun out on the court.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, we've been through a lot as a team already. I don't even think we look at it as adversity now. Like, we've been through so much. So I think we're just ready to do what we have to do.
The team was up 21-7 after the first quarter, but Oregon State started to creep back in. Was coach telling you to be wary of having such a big lead, 18 points, and then to occasionally go down by 4? What was coach telling all of you throughout the game?
I think we weren't really worried about that. We were just trying to focus on ourselves and how we could get stops and how we can get good shots. But mostly I feel like we were just trying to stay steady, stay together. And like, we knew Oregon State's a good team, like they're going to go on their runs. So we were just focused on ourselves and how we can be the best.
Yeah, just our defense and rebounding.
Good luck in the semifinals.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Grace Whitaker from Daily Bruin next.
Hey, congratulations on the win. The last time you guys played the Beavers, you were defeated 72-58. Now you guys come back and lead almost the entire game. What ways do you think the team has grown since the first matchup?
Yeah, I think this time we were talking about how they didn't see the best of us last time. I know me and Jaelynn both weren't playing, and Angela as well wasn't playing in the game. And I think we've just grown a lot since we first played them, whether that's defense, rebounding, offensively, just gaining chemistry with one another. So I think just the growth that we've had since we first played them really helped us out. Yeah.
All right, we'll go to Haley Sawyer from SoCal News Group next.
Hello, congrats on the win. I know we just talked about the last time you guys played Oregon, but I wanted to ask you specifically about like that fourth quarter. I know back in January, they went on that late run and ended up winning the game. So what were you guys trying to do in the fourth quarter today to kind of keep that from repeating?
Like I said earlier, really just worry about us, our defense and our rebounding, staying solid, executing the scouting report. Really just, executing what we need to do, worrying about what we have to do, not really them, but, not making sure that we don't defeat ourselves.
Yeah, and I feel like this was such a big team win overall, and I'm just so proud of everyone. And it just felt like we were like kind of like a caterpillar, like when we first played them, and now it feels like we're forming into a little butterfly.
I love that. So as a team today, 10 steals, a few turnovers. What were you liking about your defense today as a whole?
We just emphasized pressure. From the jump, coaches was saying full court pressure. We're going to make them think. They like to run their sets, so trying to make them, think about handling the ball, not really passing it to the open person. I would just say that, yeah.
Yeah, I think when we're just super aggressive, we have such great defenders on this team. So when we're super aggressive and on the same page, we know we can get steals and get stops.
I don't know if you're thinking this far ahead, but what's your biggest motivation to win the WNIT?
You go first.
I would just say all that we've been through as a team. I think we deserve to get a championship of all the adversity that we've been through and how well we've gone through that adversity as a team. I think that's my biggest motivation.
Yeah, I agree with Jaelynn. And then just for the seniors, like it's been a rough year and like probably a year that we all wouldn't have expected. So I think a lot of the younger classmen, like we really want to finish strong for the seniors.
And then very last thing, do you guys like playing early? Like these afternoon games?
No, I actually really don't like playing early. I was like, dang, we have an early game. We got to get up at like 7. But honestly, I like playing. So if it means we get to play basketball, then I'm for it.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Congrats again.
Thank you.
guys.
All right, any other questions here? Sue, I saw you just came in. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. All right, in that case, we will wrap it up. Charisma, Jaelynn, thanks for your time.
Can I add one more thing? I
Yeah,
just
go
want
for
to
it.
add that, like, I'm super proud of this group and like what we've been through. Even when we played Wyoming, like what we were traveling for 12, 13 hours. We played in triple overtime. Then we had to wake up early in the morning, get on 2 or 3 different flights with our team. And I'm just super proud of like the adversity and like what we've been through this year to come out here and play Oregon State and play really well. And just, I feel like with the NIT, like we were talking about it as a team, just like the women's NIT and the men's NIT, the difference between the two, like men are getting chartered flights and getting paid to play, and women are having to find all these different ways to play and go through all this adversity. So I just want to say shout out to our team for fighting through that adversity and all of the other teams that are in the WNIT. I'm super proud of everyone. And I think that there should be more awareness to those type of disadvantages that the women's tournament has. So thank you guys. We appreciate you guys a lot.
Yeah, off that, we got one more question here from Sue.
Hey, I'm sorry to come in late, ladies, but Charisma, this kind of reminds me, you said unequivocally last time that you guys' goal is to win this whole tournament, and you're kind of speaking out a little bit more now than it seems like you did before. What's going on? Have you guys come to this point in the season and you're resolved to just finish as strong as possible now? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think we're just really trying to finish strong for the seniors, like I said. And we want to win. Like, we weren't just playing this tournament to play in this tournament. And like, if our university, our coaches are going to put all this time and money into us playing these games, like, we're going to come and try to win. And we know we're fully capable of winning this tournament. So we're all just trying our best to execute and be able to cut down the nets at the end.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, guys. All right, we're now joined by head coach Cori Close, who will make an opening statement here, and then we'll jump into questions.
There you go. I just thought, we talked the whole time, think about how they had to look at adversity, the toughness they had to come in with. We went 3 overtimes in Laramie, Wyoming, traveled 13 hours to get to Corvallis the next day, and completely just mentally locked in and prepared. And this was probably the best execution of a scouting report we've had all year long. And I also just was so impressed with our selflessness and the, everybody was locked in, everybody contributed in different ways. And, I think about what we always talk about leaning into the hard, leaning into the pressure and letting it bring new things out of you. And I think that's what we saw today. So really proud of our process. We always talk about a championship level process and being the tougher, more together team. And that's what played out tonight.
All right, we'll go to Mike Regalado for our first question.
Coach, you had an 18-point lead at one point, but defense seemed to keep Oregon State at bay. What can you say about the defense that had 7 steals, 2 blocks, forced 10 turnovers, and you still end up, winning the game despite them coming back, cutting the lead to 4?
Well, it's interesting. I do agree with you, but it's interesting. The stats don't, we gave up 7 in the first, then 18, then 20, then 21 in the fourth. So, but even still, even though we gave up 21, I thought we were locked in, we were making them make tough shots and we were answering. I think our ability to execute specific actions that we thought were going to be good for us was really, really good. But, I think we kept saying it every time out that we're scoring enough points. We got to get more stops. But I do think when it was really on the line, we found ways to get stops. And I think that was a huge key. I think the closest they got in the second half, and we knew we had an 18-point lead, but if you look at every single one of their games, they've been down like, I think it was 30-11 or something like that in the first quarter against New Mexico. I mean, they've had to come back almost every game in the NIT. And so we knew they were going to make a run. We didn't think that they're a really good team, but we knew it had to be defensively. We had to get timely stops, and we had to score in pressurized situations. And obviously Jaelynn and Riz had really big nights for us, but I thought Angela Duglich was huge in very timely moments. They would prefer to play zone, and we were able to get the ball to her in the middle of the zone, and she kept them out of that zone because of the way she facilitated through the high post. And so really proud. But your question was really about our defense, and statistically it maybe doesn't show it, but I thought our timeliness and our steadiness on the defensive end were really important.
Were you worried about the game under the rim? You guys were unfortunately at a disadvantage, 36 to 24 points in the paint.
Yeah, and they just started to drive at us. The second half, it was all about defending off the bounce. It really wasn't even going to their bigs. I did think Jaelynn, number 12, 6'10", she's obviously really hard to stop, but if she's going to shoot a fadeaway 12-footer, she happened to make them, over both shoulders with their right hook and over her right shoulder today. I was going to live with that. Where we had to get better and adjust is their ability just to drive it at our players and get downhill and force us to really play tough defense in the paint off the bounce. That's really where they went inside. So I didn't think it was the height advantage traditionally, but it was the way they got to the paint off the bounce that gave us the most trouble.
Thank you. Good luck in the semifinals.
Now, thank you so much, Mike.
All right, we'll go to Sue Favor next.
Hey, Cori. It seems like you guys have you've been in similar game situations before. Other teams try to make a run. It seems like you guys did today what you've been preaching all season long. Like it made it. And then also Charisma Osborne's tone the last couple of press conferences has been really strong and really markedly different. Like she was very assertive in what she's saying. Just really, really commanding kind of. Can you explain maybe where you guys are as a team and what the growth trajectory has been like? Because it seems like from the outside that you guys are really bringing things together.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's like what I thought we'd probably, if we hadn't had our injuries, it's who we thought we become maybe mid-December, going into Pac-12 play. We didn't have the opportunity to have these reps together, to gel together. And I just think that's what you're seeing. But her command of our team, I know the outside world will talk about, 31 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, only 1 turnover. But as Tony likes to say, she had a triple-double in leadership. And that's what you're seeing, is that there's an internal confidence about her. There's a leadership, there's a steadiness. And how about her defense? I mean, she always draws the most difficult assignment, and she's doing it not 100% physically. She's doing it with incredible heart and incredible mental toughness and purpose in what she's doing. And so, she played 50 minutes against, to come back on what she's been dealing with, and then to lead like this against a really good Oregon State team. I mean, they are really good, and they execute and they play at home. And to look what we've done in 2 really high hostile environments, great crowds, great atmospheres, credit to Wyoming and to Oregon State. But we're not only coming together, in March when it's convenient and on neutral sites, we're doing it on really hostile environments, and we're finding ways to look each other in the eye and go, this is all we got, and this is all we need. And she's really educated herself, Charisma did. What you just heard from her about her education, about the NIT being owned by the NCAA for the men, but it's owned by a for-profit organization for the women. Every decision is completely different. Someone just texted me and said, are you getting to play in Madison Square Garden like the men? And I just chuckled because there's nothing like that. This is handled completely different. It's really a pay-for-play environment, and it's bids and how well you draw and how you travel and everything. When you really look at the differences of these two, and you see that's what Charisma's fired up about. She's fired up because she's educated herself, and she knows that right now she's like, bring it on. We're going to find a way to win. But she's also saying, this isn't right. this is not right. And she's using her platform and her voice for change.
Yeah, I guess between the social injustices stuff and then this kind of stuff, the young ladies are getting an absolutely three-dimensional education with you. So
That's right. Well, and that's their choice. It's easy to plant the seeds, but if they don't choose to really invest and to grow and educate themselves, it doesn't do any good. But I love what you say, that we are really committed to the three-dimensional educational experience. And that is really exactly what Charisma has embraced.
that's fantastic. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Grace Whitaker next.
Hi, Coach. Congrats on the win. I asked the players the same question, but last time you played Oregon State, you lost by 14. This time you come back leading the whole game. What ways do you feel like the team has grown overall since your first matchup with Oregon State?
You don't have enough time for that. But I mean, we were a very different team. I think our depth, we're able to play the way we like to play, put pressure on people for 94 feet, defend with aggression, to rotate strategically, a little bit offense, defense. We really used our, depth, which we haven't had depth the entire year. And so I just think we're starting to have rhythm and chemistry as a team. That's just night and day different. But, I really think that last time when we were up here, some people didn't play as much, but I thought it was the difference of selflessness. Izzy Anstey's minutes were critical to us. I thought that Dominique Onu had really incredible minutes, but I thought our entire bench was just locked in. We really challenged them to memorize their signals and to yell them out and to know what was going on. And they took that to heart. They knew them. And there's a lot of signals, let me tell you, that they plays that they run. So I just think we're a better cohesive team. We're playing with more purpose and togetherness. And honestly, I got on them. I showed the first 5 minutes of our Wyoming game to them before we did the scouting report. And I said, this isn't going to cut it. If you play this hard and this, sort of lackadaisical in the first 5 minutes, you're not going to be in the game. And I said, I don't even want to start scouting because it does zero good if we're not committed to playing harder and smarter than Oregon State. And they said, we will, coach, we will. And it was very obvious. And so I just think they're really committed right now to what a championship process looks like, what championship preparation looks like. And I think that's the biggest difference. They know what it looks like. They know what it feels like, and they're taking care of things under their control.
All right, we'll finish up here with Haley Sawyer.
Hi, congrats on the win. Just one question for you. Just what's your biggest motivation to win the WNIT? Like, what are you trying to show the country about UCLA women's basketball?
Well, I don't really think it's about showing the country as much as it is us proving to ourselves what we can become. And I think, when we work through the disappointments, some things under our control, some things not under our control. And, I really try not to be motivated by anything on the outside. I love these young women, and my mission as a program is to teach, mentor, and equip young women for life beyond UCLA. I want every single player in our program to have an uncommon transformational experience. And that's my biggest motivation, whether we're winning by, it doesn't really matter to me. And right now, though, I do want our program to be a championship level program. And right now, and you've heard me say this is our championship. And would we rather have been played in the NCAA championship? Yes, but this is what we've earned. This is what we have. And so we got to take advantage of our process. That's what's under our control. And we got to compete like crazy, grow like crazy, give to each other like crazy, and then go from there. These young women and our staff is the only motivation I need.
Thanks.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Thank you everyone for joining us. And
yeah, just real quick too, is that, we put a bid in to host the semifinals. We haven't heard yet. We won't know till later tonight. I'm really hopeful that we could have a chance to host the semifinals in Pauley Pavilion. And we're going to need all of you. We're going to need all of our Bruin basketball family to come out and support us if that takes place. But that's, that's a tremendous opportunity. And it's about, not only is it about putting our young women in a chance to have an incredible environment to play in. This is like our Final Four, but also it's about growing our game and exposing people to UCLA women's basketball in Los Angeles and being an inspiration and a role model to little girls and little boys. We want that opportunity. So if we do have a chance to host, I'm going to need y'all. I'm going to need y'all to build the enthusiasm and tell the stories and help us pack Pauley so that our women can have this kind of environment for someone else to come and play in. But thank you all for being here. You all know it means a lot to us. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Coach.